Vladimir Lenin, an individual whose influence resonated beyond his time, altering the course of the world. Born into an era of political unrest, Lenin emerged as a revolutionary leader, carving out a new path for Russia as the founder of the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic. His ideas and actions left an indelible mark on the global political landscape, triggering waves of change that continue to shape our world. But who was this man who managed to shake the world to its core? Born Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov on April 22, 1870, Lenin's journey began in Simbirsk, Russia. As a young boy, Vladimir was not unlike others his age, yet something inside him was stirring, a spark that would ignite the flame of revolution. His interest in politics began to bloom early, fostered in the fertile ground of a country ripe for change. But it was the execution of his beloved elder brother Alexander that truly set Lenin on his path. Alexander, an avid revolutionary, was hanged for plotting against Tsar Alexander III. This tragic event shook young Vladimir to his core, fueling his resentment towards the monarchy and stoking his revolutionary spirit. From then on, Lenin dedicated his life to fighting for change. He studied law, but his real education was in the streets, amidst the turmoil and strife of a nation on the brink. Thus, a revolutionary was born, one that would change the face of Russia. From a mere revolutionary, Lenin rose to become the architect of a new era. This era would be defined by his leadership during the Russian Revolution and the subsequent establishment of the Soviet state. Lenin's rise to power was as dramatic as it was pivotal. He emerged from the shadows of underground radical politics into the glaring light of a revolution, the likes of which the world had never seen before. The Russian Revolution was a turning point not just for Russia, but for the world, and at its helm stood Lenin. His unwavering resolve and strategic acumen guided the revolution to its conclusion and laid the groundwork for the Soviet state, a new kind of political entity that would change the course of history. But Lenin was more than just a leader. He was a thinker, a theorist. His interpretation of Marxism, known as Leninism, was the guiding ideology of the Soviet state. Leninism emphasized the role of a vanguard party to lead the proletariat in revolution, a departure from the original Marxist idea of a spontaneous uprising of the working class. This shift in theory, in part, facilitated the success of the Russian Revolution. During his rule, Lenin's beliefs were put to the test. Policies like war communism, which centralized the control of industries and agriculture, were implemented in an attempt to realize his vision of a socialist society. However, the realities of governing a vast and diverse nation necessitated flexibility. This led to the introduction of the new economic policy, a temporary retreat from pure communism, allowing for some degree of private ownership and capitalism to revive the economy. Lenin's leadership was not without controversy. His policies were often met with resistance, and the measures taken to suppress opposition were, at times, severe. But controversy does not negate impact, and Lenin's impact on Russia, and indeed on the entire world, was undeniable. His theories continue to influence political thought, and the state he helped to establish, despite its eventual dissolution, has left a lasting imprint on the global stage. Lenin's leadership was not without controversy, but his impact on Russia was undeniable. Lenin's influence extended far beyond his lifetime, leaving a legacy that continues to shape the world. His ideologies and policies, centered on Marxism, set a new course for the 20th century and beyond. Lenin's vision of a proletariat revolution resonated globally, inspiring other revolutionary movements from China to Cuba to Africa. His push for a classless society presented a radical alternative to capitalist structures, a perspective that continues to influence political discourse today. Lenin's legacy is also closely tied to the establishment of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or the USSR. Under his leadership, Russia transformed from a Tsarist empire to a socialist state, becoming a superpower that would play a significant role in international politics for the better part of the 20th century. This shift in power dynamics, largely influenced by Lenin's vision and policies, laid the groundwork for the Cold War, a period of political and military tension between the Western Bloc and the Eastern Bloc that lasted for over 4 decades. Even in the modern era, Lenin's impact can be felt. His thoughts and theories continue to shape political ideologies, debates, and movements. His influence permeates our understanding of class struggle, imperialism, and the role of the state in society. Vladimir Lenin, a man of controversy, but undeniably a man who changed the world. Be sure to hit that like or subscribe button and keep being curious, beautiful, and continue learning. Check out some of my other videos and keep staying curious.